Dallas, seems like everyone feels differently about the fact playing the Chiefs. Either it's revenge or just another game. I'm curious, where do you fall on it in terms of being a Super Bowl rematch?
Yeah, obviously it's pretty cool that we get to play them again. It's cool getting to this game. I think I was in there with Smitty. He kind of said it best. They're just kind of the next opponent in our way of getting to our end goal. To beat the best, to be the best, you got to beat the best. And I'm excited for this opportunity. I'm excited for this matchup. Playing in games like this is what you always dream of.
Is there one thing you think of when you think back to that Super Bowl?
It was a really cool experience. I can't say there's just one thing I think about. You think about it here and there. You just never sure up until this point if it was your one time that you're going to get there, have that opportunity. But I don't really think about it too much anymore. You kind of try to be where your feet are in the present, and going back to it's obviously really special and really cool. Think a little bit about what you did the last time, what you can do differently, but it's just trying to be where your feet are.
How long did it take you to get over it?
Yeah, it stung for me. It took a while. Like I said, the opportunities of making it to the Super Bowl are few and far in between. Thankful I get to get back, but that whole offseason up until the next season started, really, you were kind of thinking about it, thinking about how it could have went different, thinking about being on the other side of it, and now we have the opportunity to do that.
Dallas, you were the first player the Eagles drafted after they won the Super Bowl in 2017. What were your thoughts at that time, if you remember? And did you watch the Eagles win the Super Bowl in 17?
Yeah, I remember watching them win it. It was cool. I was rooting for them. It was an awesome game, and then to be drafted here right after that, my initial thoughts were, I'm gonna win a lot of these things. The way the team talked about it when I got here. Making the playoffs, making the little bit of run I had my rookie year. It seemed like it was an expectation to get there. To be able to make two of them in 7 years is pretty special. But as a rookie, I thought I was going to be there that year.
When Nick had that meeting and told you all to visualize the play, what was the play that you visualized?
I got a lot of different ones. For me, I was actually visualizing just stuff in the future. I was visualizing making a play in this game, making a play in the playoff game. I do a lot of that when I go to sleep every night. I'm thinking about my favorite play in the game plan, how it can turn out. Sometimes they come to fruition, sometimes they don't. I remember visualizing with Saquon about the first play last week, and he said, I don't see why we can't score on it. And, I visualized that one a lot, and, that one came true. So I'll be doing a lot of visualization over the next week and a half here.
The last time you were in the Superdome, you had your career performance. Did you feel like that was the turning point for you guys for the season, or after that game, were you thinking that maybe, okay, this is where we can get going?
We had a lot of obstacles to overcome this year. That was one of them. We lost Schmitty. We lost Lane in that game. AJ wasn't playing. Up until playoffs, me, Schmitty, and AJ have only played one game together, and that was the first game of the year. So we knew once we all got healthy, once we got back together, the possibilities were endless. I think we had really high expectations, over the last 3-4 years, places this team can go, and I'm just proud of this team for being able to make it happen.
Was there any point during the season where you thought, yeah, we can do this?
It kind of goes back to when we traded for AJ the last time we went to the Super Bowl in the offseason when we signed Saquon. I feel like that gave us all a boost. I knew that would be a big part to this team. I feel like I knew we'd have a chance to be special very early, but it takes daily deposits. It takes the work every day to be able to get to that position. Nothing's given in this league, and just the way the team, the coaches handled everything, put us in great positions.
You just put up 55 in the NFC Championship. Do you feel like you guys are peaking? You said what you said about not being together all year. You feel like you are peaking right now?
Yeah, I think we played a lot of good football this year. But I know this team, offensively, defensively, special team. we want the big one. That's the goal. At the beginning of the season, you don't talk about it much because there's so many steps to get there. But yeah, this is going to be fun.
You guys don't play each other, but the tight ends are you guys tight end university. Just having that matchup with Travis, does that give you any extra incentive anyway?
Not overly to anything. I want to do whatever I can to help this team win. If the ball comes my way, that's great. If I'm doing it in the blocking game, that's great. If I'm running people off, clearing people for other people, that's great too. But, I got a tremendous amount of respect for Travis. It's fun to watch him. It's fun to see what he can do year in, year out. He's obviously one of, if not the best to ever do it. But like you said, I don't play him. I'm not competing against him individually for anything. So I'm just going to do whatever I can to help the team win.
What have you learned from Travis?
He when he gives his spiels at tight end university, I really pay attention. It's cool. He's got so much freedom in their offense that he can make plays in many different ways. It's not just a deep cross, getting to 10, going over. If he feels space, he finds it. Him and Mahomes have a great connection where they're kind of always on the same page. And, that's kind of what I've tried to instill in Jalen. Stick with me. If you need me, I'll be there. And, just make plays.
You won another of those Angry Run awards from Kyle. I remember talking to you when you hurt your forearm. You said you'd want to ease that up, but you didn't want to ease it up. Is that just something that happens in the moment?
Yeah, it definitely happens in the moment. This time come, missed some games this year. I've been hungry to get back out there. And, with all these games being win or go home, I'll do whatever it takes to make sure we're not going home. So, I think being physical, punishing defenders, it gets me excited, it gets the fans excited, and it gets the team excited. So anytime you can get a spark with a game of football with so many changes of momentum, if you can get the momentum on your side, I feel like good things always happen.
You said in 2018 you thought, I'm going to go to a bunch of these Super Bowls. 2 and 7 years or 8 years is good, but do you realize how hard it is to get here now, all these years later, how tough it is to get to a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I definitely don't take this lightly. Even making the playoffs, things like that. I got a lot of friends that I trained with, met throughout the league that, some of them still haven't made their first playoff appearance. Some of them made one. Some of them don't have any wins. We're lucky here that, I've been able to make 6 out of 7 playoffs. But that's just the culture we have here. I know it takes a lot of work to get there. You don't take them lightly, and when you get the opportunity, you want to make the most of them.
Hey, DeVonta, last week when you guys were in that team meeting and Nick asked everyone to close their eyes and think of a play, what play did you think of?
Back in high school, my senior year, 4th round of playoffs, we needed to stop to basically go to state, and the team was driving. They were, inside the 10, and it was, a pile of us, and I had stripped the ball out. And just thinking about, everybody that was in that pile, how everybody was, trying to get the ball out just to stop them.
What does it mean to you to play a Super Bowl in Louisiana?
It means a lot. Not just because it's back at home, but, this was the end goal, to get to the Super Bowl. But, just going out there, make sure that we finish the right way.
But is it any special to be home? I mean,
yeah, definitely. I don't have to pay for flights, don't have to pay for rooms and stuff, so.
How much?
The ticket request been?
Nah, my people that come here, that's who's going to come to the game.
What's your most vivid memory of the last Super Bowl? What do you take away that maybe can help you win this one?
I would say the best memory was the night before, when a few of us got up in front of the team and talked, and, it was a lot of emotions and things like that. Just, remembering the guys and the emotions that they had and how close the team was. But ultimately, just going out there, just playing our game. As long as we go out there, play our game, continue to play football the way we've been playing it, we should come out successful.
Anything happening in A-Meet? Anything happening in A-Meet?
Nah, nothing happened at A-Meet.
DeVonta, there haven't been a lot of Heisman Trophy winners that won a Super Bowl. What would it mean for you to get both on your resume?
It means a lot. Not just because of that, but from the spring when we were coming in during OTAs and things, training camp to now, like it's a lot of work that's been put in, and you see it's paying off. And now, just going out there hoping that we can finish this the right way.
DeVonta, you played this team twice now in 2 years. I don't know how deep you are into the film yet, but what differences do you notice from their defense this year?
They tackle well. They don't miss a lot of tackles. They flow to the ball. They try to cause a lot of confusion and things like that. So, we have to be ready for everything they try to throw at us.
You talked about that emotion the first time you guys were there. Does it help to have gone through that, to maybe anything from what you did the first time versus what you want to do this time?
I don't think it was like emotion in a bad way. I think it was just guys, just being grateful for the opportunity and just, the journey of it. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think at some point you have to reflect on what it took to get here, and I think that's a good thing.
Is the hamstring, is that just maintenance from the previous one, or is that something new?
Just maintenance, staying on top of it.
All good for your prospects for this upcoming game?
Yeah.
What in your mind has made this team special and maybe even different than 2 years ago?
That team 2 years ago was very close, but I think now this team is a lot closer. A lot of guys spend a lot of time outside of this building together. When we're here, a lot of guys eating together, having conversations about, things that are just not football.
Is there anything you would do to prepare different for this Super Bowl compared to the last one?
No, I think, for me personally, I take my same approach. I wouldn't say my same approach now is different from 2 years ago, from a game. So the approach I've been taking to get ready for games this year, I'm going to continue to do that.
How quickly were you able to put that loss in the Super Bowl 2 years ago aside? How long did it take you?
I would say probably about 2 days. 2 days, and nothing you can do about it now.
You ever think about it at all anymore?
Yeah, you think about it all the time. Especially, playing it again, playing the same team. You think about it. Think about, what you did when you playing a familiar opponent. The things that they did in that game. Watching film. You go back and you watch the game. We played some of those guys, seeing what they were doing then, if they were doing anything different now.
Do you use it as fuel, or are you the kind of player that uses that type of stuff as fuel?
Nah, that don't do nothing for me. It's the next team trying to stop us from getting to our end goal.
Was there any point this season when you said, yeah, we have the team, we have what it takes to get to the Super Bowl, any point during this year that?
Me personally, I always think that, it always comes down to, executing things like that. We had a few bumps in the beginning of the season, but, that's part of the game. You're going to have up and downs in the game. Nobody's season is going to be perfect. So it's all about how you respond to it and can you correct the things that you're doing wrong.
AJ talked yesterday about how he's not really a big fan of all the Super Bowl week hoopla. I'm sure you've talked to him about it. How do you feel about it?
I just want to go play football.
Do you consider the whole week a distraction, or just how do you handle it?
I wouldn't say it's a distraction. You make it what it is. However you look at it, that's what it's going to be. For me personally, I'm focused on the game. I don't let outside things get in my head and things like that. I know what I came here for, so that's mostly what I'm focused on.
Have you ever played in the Superdome before? Not before you got to the NFL?
Yeah, I played twice in high school and once in college.
Championship games in high school?
Yeah.
How'd you do?
The first one I didn't play because I was injured. Second one, we lost by 4.
There's a lot of players on this team, like top-end players, who have accepted roles that maybe where you're not as productive as you could be or have been in the past. How do you explain sort of how everybody has sort of gone along with that?
I know in our room we talk about making the most of the opportunity and things like that. So when a number is called, you have to make it because you never know how the flow of the game is going to be. It may be a drive where you're hot, and the next few drives you might not touch the ball. So you got to make the most of your opportunities. When the ball comes to you, make the play.
It comes through Philly.
Y'all thought I was crazy. Y'all still think I'm crazy.
I don't think that's exactly what I'm asking.
God crazy, he wrote the Bible. He said a lot of things. I said a lot of things, but that one thing I said, I meant it.
So why did you say that then?
You know why? Stop asking dumb questions. You know why I said that. Answer that question yourself.
Well, I'm not going to say it. That's why
you know why I said that.
You said that because
everybody talk about the front runners and the big guys of the division and conference, but in order to be a big dog and be a leader, you got to be able to win and get to the big stage. And that's what Coach Lee has done, his team has done. So As I said, it runs through Philly. When I was in Detroit, I was saying the same thing. So the message is like, you have faith in your team. If you can't say that, then why are you talking?
In the team's videos, we see you breaking them down. They showed that. What's your role there? Why is that important that you're the guy who does that?
It's not important. It's one of those. I've been there before. It's not really important. There's no such thing as importance when you're talking to your team. Everything you say to your team is important. I think the message is with, I've been here before, you've been here before, and a couple guys that ain't been here before got to get ready. Like, I played in that stadium 2 years ago against San Fran. You know what it was like. You've been there. And the message was to, like, what are you here for? A lot of guys say, oh, I want to win. But in order to win, it starts somewhere. In that moment at practice, you got to look yourself in the mirror. Like, what the f are you here for? You're here to be okay. You're here to be a great teammate. You're here to be a champion. And I think this locker room is built on champions. A lot of these guys have won a lot in their career from college. So now, I'll stop.
You also said in that press conference back during the summer that say what you want about you, you're a winner, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think everywhere you've been, you guys?
I only missed the playoff 1 year in 7 years.
Yeah. Why is that?
I don't know. I'm playing on good teams with good teammates. Been to 3 conference championships in a row. About to go to another Super Bowl. It's rare to do that, and it's not an individual thing. It's a team thing. So the better I am than my teammates and coaches, the better we are to each other, and we can just eat off each other and grow off each other. So going back to back to back, I think everybody from the first Philly team to being in Detroit, appreciate my time there, and being here with the guys I got now. Every year the yearbook changes for teams. It's just how are you conducting yourself on a long road. And I think this year I just want to show you I'm a winner. And being back on the same stage, you can't put nothing else besides winner, besides my name, my teammate's name, and everybody who was locker room.
CJ, what is it about Coach Sirianni that makes him so special to you?
Respectfully, just coaching us how he want to coach us, bro, to be honest with you. I'm not going to say and go into deep detail, like being who he is and just coaching us and trying to relate as much as possible is the best thing a coach can do. I mean, when you try to go outside the box and do something that you're not it frustrates the team. It frustrates who you are as a person. But when you're the same person every day, I think staff, players, everybody respect it. So that's the type of guy he is. He's not going to change. Stuff y'all see, we see on another grade scale, but in a good way.
CJ, Howie said at one point that this past offseason you wanted to add players that have toughness and swagger and play with emotion, and you were one of them that you brought in, obviously. Do you think that, like, the way that you play and the way that you are around the locker room here, do you think that your teammates feed off?
I think the way I play is overshadowed because I talk a lot of crap, respectfully. I think the way I help lead this team is overlooked because I talk a lot of crap or I get personal fouls, but in reality, you guys watch the games. Sometimes, like this year, I had to learn that being back and playing a full, healthy year was something blessing to me. I think you guys missed that. I missed the whole year. So in order to come back and play football, that's what helped me show who I am. Toughness, gritty. The other stuff, bro, don't matter. It's football. I think just being on this team and leading these guys and going back to where we were, it shows a lot. You guys, everybody look at me in a different way in a crazy light, but I love football.
What have you noticed about Cooper and Quignon as far as them being ready for this stage and how they play?
It's the same every week, man. Those grown men. Grown man, they know what to do, they know what's expected of them. I'm not say too much to rookies who already grew up. It's kind of hard to say somebody who grew up and they can play as early besides keep going. They're young, they get a blessing to get the first glimpse of a Super Bowl in your first year, so it's all what you do for them.
What do you think you and the other players that played in Super Bowl 57 learned from that experience that you could take into this one?
Be in the moment. Simple. Just be in the moment.
After your
I ain't gonna do that, twin.
After your win over the Rams, you talked about Nick Sirianni and A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts specifically, proving doubt is wrong. Do you feel like they've done that yet, or are they on their way there?
To be honest with you, if last week ain't proved nobody wrong, then I'll be honest with you, I can't speak for their play. They gonna just keep going out there and balling. The more criticism they have, I'm just one of their biggest fans. I'm their teammate, but also, like, I can't criticize somebody who go out there and overcome everything every week. And 1 week he's a running quarterback. Or next week, he's complaining. And next week, they won a game. So that ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just glad them guys rolling. I'm happy to see them get back to the championship and do what they do. They got another piece of the offense in Saquon, so let's roll.
You said you think that people look at it in a crazy light. Do you really think that's the case, or do you think, you know?
I mean, I put it on myself. I'm not worried about it. I mean, I got older. I'm getting older. I mean, I'm gonna have fun, but I'm also gonna be who I am. But I'm not gonna take away from the team. That's why I'm back. When you one of those guys who I'm open and as honest as possible, you can't really get upset at that because I want the same in return. So I think saying the things I say, do the things I do, people look at it as critical. You're not used to it. But if you're not used to it, go look at old school football. A. Reed did the same thing. Ray Lewis did the same thing. Chad Ochocinco did the same thing. Deion was even 3 times worse. On draft day, Deion said he had to put me on layaway, and they thought he was the best athlete in the world. So I'm not worried about what I say. I'm just worried about I can back it up, which I can. So.
The way you win, of course, carries on, but I think it's just him going to his Warriors, I would say, to make sure that if he is going through it, then he go talk to him and get some good sound counsel, and then be back to work.
Who are his Warriors?
I mean, you got to ask him that, but I know that you've seen the growth in him, just every day, even when people are critical of him, but he just keeps showing up.
He's talked before about how every team needs something different from him as a leader.
Yeah.
What would you say this team is needing?
You know what? Just it ain't even got to be much. It's just more of just everybody. I feel like this year is just everybody do your job, do what you're supposed to do, and because we already connected, we already together. You can see everybody like being around. We already talking like, dang, this on the last 2 weeks. Let's make it count. So my bad. But yeah, it's just more of like make it count, and I think it's just he ain't got to do nothing extra, especially with this team, because everybody's they know what's at stake.
How's your second day of practice going? How much were you able to ramp it up like you were hoping you would?
Man, it's going way better than I thought, and I'm excited. We're just taking it one day at a time, but man, I'm feeling good, really feeling good about it.
And BG, I imagine the first goal was just getting back out there at
Yeah.
practice. What's the next goal in recovery right now?
Just making sure that I'm in enough shape to go play this game, and make sure that I'm out just whenever my name get called, just do my job and have fun out there, and keep the boys rallied up so that we can go out and go execute and try to get this game.
And when do you make the call, or your coaching staff make the call of what role you'll play in the game? Is there a timeline on this, or a deadline, if you will?
You know what? I think it's just them seeing me every day and just seeing what they just surprised that I'm back. But really, they just want to see if it's a drop off or anything. Like they really just want to see what I can do, and I think I've shown a little bit today, even more, because every day we've been adding more to it, adding more on my plate. So, yeah, today was a really good one.
The effort you put in the last 2 months to even get to this point, can you just describe the process of it, or just how much you went through just to even get to this point?
Yeah, man, I didn't even think it was possible until I was talking to some people. And they like, man, I came back at this. I talked to Hollis. Hollis came back 2.5 months, and I'm like, man, I'm 2.5 right now. And so I feel the same way. I just feel like, I've been strengthening it. We kind of sped up the protocol a little bit just because it was just going so good. And, I'm just like, this is my last game for the year. And I'm like, Super Bowl at that. Man, if I can make it, I can. If not, I'm cool with that too. But I've really been just putting in the work, just trying to watch every little thing, take my vitamins, my supplements, stuff like that, and just making sure that I do all I can to put in that work to see if I could have had a chance, and now I feel real good about it.
You still giving some thoughts about year 16, or?
Huh?
You still giving thoughts about year 16?
I ain't there. Let's go win, and then we talk about it. But I'm excited, man. I really do feel good. We had a great practice today, man. The guys is just, man, it's just been fun to watch. I promise you, it's been fun to watch, and I don't feel no less a part of it. So it's been good.
Did you get some team drill work in today?
I got some team drill. Not team. Tomorrow. I'll probably get some team stuff, but I got a lot of stuff yesterday or today, as far as using my left arm and striking, and I'm like, yeah. So we'll see how tomorrow go. If it gets sore, right now I don't feel sore at all. Right now I feel regular, but you know how it go. I gotta really see how it's gonna go tomorrow.